idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, this is a preview episode for episode 170. Now, before I tell you the name of the movie we're going to do for 170, as we promised in our fan group, you can go to blackonblackcinema.com/fans to join it. As I mentioned, this is something very different for us. This is a historic episode. So we started recording, we got 30 minutes into recording an episode that we were going to do on Paid in Full, which if folks haven't seen it, don't. I mean,
it's fine.
It's fine. Right, it's not a bad movie.
It just didn't generate the conversation that you guys enjoy us doing.
No,
show
because Micah was running at a breakneck speed trying to get through the summary.
It'd have been a 45-minute episode.
Yeah,
nothing special about that movie. Yo.
There really
literally
is.
nothing special about that movie that we haven't already done before in episode 2.
Oh, yes. New Jack City. Yeah, pretty much. So it just wasn't up to what we wanted to actually deliver. So in the middle of that episode, or probably almost the end of that episode, I guess, we decided that we were laughing that, about sort of like bad movies starring rappers. So we were like, you know what? Fuck it. We called an audible in the middle of the episode and decided that we were going to do the 2002 American crime film. I'm just going to start to read the cast before I tell you the movie. Benny Siegel, Memphis Bleak, David Dash, Jay-Z, Jacob the Jeweler, DJ Clue. I think that's enough.
Don't even tell them the name of the movie. They'll find out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
They'll know.
Yeah. So the special thing that we did, because we watched these movies separately and then we come together and record our thoughts on it, obviously. So what we decided to do is if you are a premium member to TMP Studios, you know we do a show called we watch trash, which we actually do kind of a riff tracks or Mystery Science Theater 3000 version, where we sit in the same room and watch the movie in real time and give our commentary. So we didn't feel like breaking away and then coming back to do that 2002 American crime film, starring Benny Siegel.
It's Beanie.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Whatever. Fuck that movie. It's terrible. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, playing the character Beans. I apologize. So we decided to do that format. So if you can figure out the movie, shouldn't take you.
I feel like you already know. Y'all a bunch of niggas. Y'all already know.
Yeah, you already know what this is. Apparently, it's Terrence's favorite bad movie. So what you can do is if you cue that movie up, you can actually just kind of watch it along with us as we give our commentary live, because Micah and I had never seen it, and for some reason Terrence had seen it, I think, more than once.
Yeah, I think so.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking crazy person.
You a nigga.
Yeah. That movie is super nuts.
Man. I'm a huge Jay-Z fan. Shut up.
He's barely in it. I've never seen a person more.
He was so disinterested.
You're right, yo. I've never seen anybody want to not be somewhere more than Jay-Z is in that movie. It's amazing. That dude is a massive introvert.
He had no lines of dialogue. They didn't write anything for him.
Yeah, he was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, you might want to take care of that.
Like, why are you even here? He was like, just keep wearing Rockaway. Like, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, look forward to that. Like, this is just pure comedy gold, right? Like, there is no serious conversation in this at all. Nor should there be. But we'll be back with episode 171 with a full normal episode. But we do sit down and watch that movie. And it's, if you like riff tracks or Mystery Science Theater 3000, or you just want to hear, because you'll be able to hear the movie sort of in the background a little bit. If you just want to listen to us just bag on it and just have a good time, sure. So, again, you should be able to figure out what this movie is. All right. So, random topic this week is all about black turnout that we've seen in the primary election. Joe Biden did a trust fall into South Carolina and was saved by black people. And then ever since then, he just seems to be gathering black people like Pokemon to just destroy Bernie Sanders in this primary election. So we did want to talk about that. I don't find it particularly all that surprising. I think a lot of black people have had kind of the sentiment that they certainly prefer Biden over Sanders this go round. But I do think that goes down age lines. What do you guys think is the reason that older black people are breaking more for Biden versus younger black people that, like, and I mean like 18 to 29, the ones who actually did vote, are sort of still in the Sanders camp? Like, what's the disconnect on either side? I'm not saying one is right or one is wrong.
Well, you want to go first?
No, you can. Go ahead.
I can go ahead. Well, it's pretty simple to me. Older black folks are genuinely more conservative, centrist, if you will, and they go to and because of church. Biden is he's well known in that area. He's well known in those circles. He was the vice president of the first black president of the United States. They know him.
Right.
It's pretty simple. And black folks are more pragmatic when it comes to shit like this. Bernie Sanders talks a big game, hasn't necessarily delivered in 30 years.
That's my issue with him.
He says a whole bunch of shit that you're not gonna get the stuff that you want done. Not in those black folks' lifetime. They old. The fuck?
Right.
And he's older than them.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely
dead
good point.
Before any of the shit that he says he wants to implement is even implemented, if ever. So, again, you got to be realistic. And Bernie Sanders' campaign is not. It sounds cute, but like, come on, it's politics.
Right. Micah?
I think it's like you said, I think it's a mixture, right? There's a lot of different factors. There's the more pragmatic side, which is where I kind of land. There is a contingent that is just, he rolled with Obama, so I'm gonna roll with him. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not, people dismiss that argument, but like, Obama picked him as vice president for a reason. Right. You know what I mean? Like,
he does have a track record. It's a little spotty.
It's
to say the least. Yeah,
it's really spotty. Yeah. But and look, everyone cites things that you've done in the past, and nobody cites anything that Bernie's done in the past other than walking with Dr. King and amongst a bunch of other people, and what else, right? Like, I don't know enough about politics to judge either politician on his on certain things, right? But I feel like I am the quintessential voter, the one that knows just enough to be dangerous, but I take my vote seriously, right? And
that's where you're not an average voter. A lot of people just don't take it seriously.
Apparently not. And quite frankly, Biden is running a much better campaign. He's running a much better campaign than Bernie Sanders is. Bernie Sanders didn't want to go to Mississippi. Instead, he was just like, you know what? Bernie Sanders has a way of going to poor black states and poor black towns and getting no black people to show up. And
does he even go to poor black states?
He went to Michigan. What part of Michigan was he in?
I don't think he's in Detroit. I'm sure he did some stuff in Detroit, but mainly his focus is working class whites in Detroit. Like that's who he's trying to win over there.
And that's the thing.
And it didn't work.
Like, Joe Biden attracts working class white people too.
He does. So he actually beat Bernie in working class white votes. Like he did.
Well, there you go. So Bernie Sanders is running a piss poor campaign. He's running a piss poor campaign, and a vocal minority of his supporters are uppity, know it all assholes who insult people. And guess what, yo? Like it shouldn't matter, quote unquote, if someone is making fun of. Like, you should vote based on your issues. But yo, there's a lot of people out there that will spite vote. Like, fuck you, yo. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You gonna tell me that I need to do this and I need to do that? I was looking at I jumped on someone's Twitter, and she was very dejected that Elizabeth Warren dropped out. But she said, you know what? I'm very sad, but I'm not surprised. The first response to that tweet was something to the effect of, good, now get on, now support Bernie Sanders or Trump gets elected. And somebody else was like, with that type of attitude, you're not going to win people over. Fuck them and fuck being nice. Lives are at stake. People are going to die, and their blood is going to be on your hands if you don't support Bernie Sanders. Yo, fuck you, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Seriously, yo.
But it's funny how that didn't translate in 2016 when people were yelling, yo, the Supreme Court is in the balance and all this other shit. And they were just like, I'm going to just take my ball and go home.
Right.
No lives were at stake then, right? Because, women's right to choose and all those other things were up, and all, putting kids in cages and all that other shit that's popped up. Yeah, we could have prevented all of those things. I don't know if you know.
It's going to happen again,
Yeah. So, okay. So here's my thing. As far as black turnout, I think you guys are hitting on the right points, which is like, especially this idea that black folks are pragmatic, right? Like, they are. I saw, she's been on the show before, and I'm going to give her a shout out. Tiara, who's been on a number of episodes, like, she made a point, and I thought it was really good. She says, look, nobody knows America better than black people do. Like, we know real America, right? Like, often in politics, it's, oh, what's the real America? No, we know the belly of fucking America. The shit that when people ain't looking, that's the real America, and how you treat the poorest people in your country. We know better than anybody else what the real America is like, what politicians really push for after they do all their bullshit rhetoric and everything else. Like, we know this. And to me, at least in my lifetime, every politician that black people have been like, this is the person, they've generally been fucking right. Like, they've generally been right. Whether the rest of America kind of gets their shit together, especially white men, is a different conversation altogether. They generally don't. So I think black people are very pragmatic. I think black people, there's this whole like, oh, the people in South Carolina weren't educated and no. Don't talk about educated voters, my nigga. 50% of the voting population voted for what could arguably be our first like mentally ill president. Like,
retarded.
Okay, I was trying to be nice.
No, yeah. Look, Jack, friend of the show, Jack said the most profound thing I've ever heard him say in a Facebook post. He said, guess what, folks? Batman is a gigantic asshole to everyone he interacts with. You can't fight evil by being polite.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
fair.
that dude, yo. He's retarded.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Look, you're not wrong.
No, he's an idiot. He's a complete fucking
his
moron.
mental faculties are gone.
Yeah, they are. They are
funny
slipping
because
fast.
If you watch old clips of him, he wasn't always the brightest, but he could speak.
Yeah, no, it is clear.
He could. He's just old. It's just slipping.
Right. Yeah,
And
this is why you
not
don't.
a good thing when you're the fucking president of the United States.
Yeah, that's
When
why you
can't
don't
think straight.
That's why you don't hire people who are not intelligent to begin with, and that's why you don't hire people like. I mean, Trump is younger than Sanders and Biden.
Yeah.
But
sad.
But that's why you don't hire people who like people's mental faculties slip in their for a lot of people in their late 70s, into their 80s. Like that, it doesn't matter how smart you are. Some
Well,
people before.
pretend that Joe Biden isn't getting close.
Yeah,
Because I've seen his
getting close.
Nigga, he there. He at the top. He at the top of that hill before the roller coaster. Like when you're like, oh shit! Right before it starts to
just sled down that hill.
That,
Yeah.
that nigga's brain is working so hard, his eyeball exploded.
Yo, he was like, fuck.
And that's my issue. Like, look, I get it. Like, he's gonna be the nominee.
Definitely.
But if he wins, like, it's all about who he picks.
Yo, please pick someone mad young.
Yeah, it's gonna be VP, and then it's got to be, and then his cabinet has to be tight.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not going to be just him. Like, again, we see him. He's going to be the president, and he's going to be making gaffes out the ass because he can barely speak anymore. But like, yeah, if you got the people around you, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you do okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think turnout is interesting. I do think that what we saw, there was an article I think in the New Yorker today that was talking about like how people just kind of completely misread 2016. And it's this idea of like, oh, after Hillary Clinton lost, it was because she was too centrist and we needed a super liberal person. By the way, I am a very liberal person. And it's like, no, like America is not there. And like this idea that like black people are going to be there and stuff like that, like they're not. They don't, especially older black people, they're not trying to listen to an old white man talk about revolution. Get the fuck out of here. Like they don't trust you. Like I'm not even that old and I don't trust you to do like you benefited from this system. How the fuck are you going to break the system and build a new one? You're 70,000 years old, my nigga. Like get out of here. Like it's insane for me to even remotely buy that makes sense. And it doesn't work. Like,
and then again, that's you being pragmatic. Like he says all that shit, and like, no, I know that's not true, dog. Like, come on.
Like I read too much. Like I read too much to like, yeah, no, this all makes sense. Like, no, come on, it's silly. So black people hear that shit. Look, nobody got a better bullshit detector than black people. And nobody got a better one than older black women. Like, no, nigga, I'm not buying it. That ain't your friend at work. Fuck you. Where you going? They're not buying it. So, no. Look, everybody got an old aunt. She don't play that shit. So, like, it's just the idea that black people would support something that is just completely untested is just not us. The other thing that's interesting is like people were saying, generally Bernie Sanders folks are like, well, you guys just don't want Medicare for all and other stuff like that. That's not true either. Because if you look at the surveys, black people support Medicare for all, I think at like 61 or 65%, something like that. Black people don't trust Bernie. It's not that they don't want the policies. They don't like your ass. Like that's the problem. So like black people not trying to hear like, oh, I'm a democratic socialist. White people either, by the way. They're like, nope, not buying it. So us not supporting them is crazy. He's not a Democrat. Like that's another big thing.
Like, come on.
That's another big thing. Yeah, you have 4 years. You could have been in the Democratic Party, but you decided, no, I don't want to be. Well, like that was a thing that came out of South Carolina. Like some high percentage, like 70% of black people said that being a Democrat was super important to them. Like that's a part of their identity. Maybe you shouldn't have just railed against the Democratic Party for the last fucking year and how they ain't shit. Because those are voters. But, whatever. Like but it is interesting that black people are easily the most pragmatic people in this country. Where we
have no choice but to be.
Because we can't trust anybody.
Yeah, we got burned, Literally. Hey, come on this free cruise. Like, nah, yo.
Never again. So yeah, it is interesting. Like I need Latin folks to get a little bit more pragmatic. It's like 25% of y'all just like, oh, this is what we're doing. Like, don't.
Yeah, they trying to throw your asses over a goddamn wall.
Yeah, yo.
Like, come on.
Learn a lesson, my nigga. Yeah, or whatever the Spanish word is for that. So what's that?
Like a nigga, apparently.
Yeah, well, if you're Dominican, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, if you're Fat Joe.
As he said, I'm a nigga every day.
A nigga every day.
And he is. So yeah, I do find that interesting. Like, you would think that we would be like, historically, maybe we would end up being like super far left, I guess, and just being like, we need to take down the system. We're like, nah, nigga, I don't trust people rebuilding the system. Like, we just don't. I think black people will get that way when there is consistently people of color in charge. And until that happens, I don't see that. I don't see that moving.
Well, the problem with taking down the system is, much like 400 years ago, they're probably going to expect black people to build it up again. Like, yo, I ain't working in no goddamn field to build up your goddamn system again.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
But I mean, but there's also like the political system. If you tear it down, much like when you go and blow up a country like Iraq, you create a power vacuum, and shitty people tend to run in the middle to gain power. So why would we trust that this system that we know that is incredibly flawed won't be replaced by a system that is far worse for us? Because the chances of that, with Nazis running around and all this other shit, the chances of that are high. Like, it could easily get worse. So, yeah, if you're wondering why black people are anti-Bernie Sanders, it's probably not so much even him. It's just that sort of revolutionary talk we just don't buy. And all just seems like bullshit. Like, it just does. It just does. And this is from a guy who absolutely supported Bernie in 2016. But it's like, given other options, because I wanted Elizabeth Warren in 2016 and she didn't run. Given other options, I was like, no. And these were the problems I had with him before. I'm like, you can't get any of the shit you're saying get done. You can't. You just can't.
This is the first time in my lifetime that I literally just don't feel like voting.
But you have to. You have to.
I have
Yeah,
to.
that's
I
the
will.
thing.
You have to.
I will. I voted in every election. I voted in every election except for one, and that's because I forgot to fill out the absentee ballot because I was out of the country. But and it was ironically 2016. But
look what you did. Look what you did.
But yeah, it was my fault that my Hillary Clinton vote didn't count
In Maryland.
in Maryland. But yeah, I just I don't know. It's like what do you choose, right? Like a fucking shit sandwich or a douche, you know what I mean? Like
you choose the shit sandwich, like, or the douche. I don't know, whichever one is Biden. Like, that's the one you choose. Like, you choose that one, and it's because, you know, people are, it's the lesser of two evils. Joe Biden is an evil. We're not six. Right. Like, knock it off. Joe Biden, if he wins, will be the most. If he gets almost anything done, he will be the most progressive president we've ever had. Like, that's just how it works. He has more progressive policies.
I don't want to watch that debate.
Oh, the sundown debate?
I can't. I don't get secondhand embarrassment a lot. Like, I don't give a fuck about Trump, but just like watching Biden try to fucking debate Trump, that's gonna be painful. Yeah,
I need that. I need that to happen literally at like 12 noon. Like, it can't be at night, because both of them, like, their mental faculties are going to be a mess. Trump's going to be sniffing all over the place, high on Adderall or whatever. Joe Biden's out there challenging this nigga to push-ups. Like, this shit is going to be stupid.
It's going to be
terrible. It's going to be awful, yo.
Which
is why I'm like, is it?
It's going to be amazing for like people who don't give a fuck about politics and just want to watch the world burn. Like, just these two.
I'm just going to be at home screaming.
These two septuagenarians fucking just yelling at each other. Just Trump trying desperately to stave off the cocaine monster and to come up with thoughts to try and get one-liners out so that he can ooh and ah the crowd like some fucking whack-ass Jerry Springer episode. And Biden trying to keep up but falling behind, wiping the blood from his eyeballs. Yo, that right there will be the downfall of America.
All I can hope is that people just go, yeah, Joe Biden is terrible, but we can't afford this. Like, we just cannot afford to put that dummy back in office for another 4 years. We'll just put Joe in. Hopefully Joe gets a really good VP. He dies early, and then we get Stacey Abrams as president. Like, that's it. Or Kamala Harris. And by the way, his VP has to be black. Black people saved Joe Biden's ass.
I mean, yeah, if it's not, then not.
That's a level of disrespect. Like, look, I would love it to be Elizabeth Warren because Joe Biden ain't going to be around. But even I'm like, yo, it's got to be a black person. Like, it just has to be. It has to be. Come on. It has to be.
Like Cory Booker or something like that.
I could see him picking Cory Booker. I that's not who I would choose. I would. Kamala Harris would be good. Like,
Was she
yeah, like she only got to do one debate.
VP?
Yeah, like just.
Oh, she would.
I would love to see that debate.
Her versus Mike Pence.
I would absolutely watch that one.
I would be more excited to watch her just fucking clothesline Mike Pence on stage than the Biden Trump debate. Stacey Abrams would be good too. I think she's pretty amazing. But yeah, just pick somebody good. Just pick somebody good. But look, if you don't pick a black person, yo, James Clyburn might come up from South Carolina to fuck you up personally. Like he very well might. So yeah, I think black turnout is important. Clearly, if you want to win the Democratic nomination, you need to talk to black people directly. You cannot talk around them, which is what Sanders tried to do. Every time somebody brought up black people, we kept, people of color. Like, no, nigga, black people. That's who we talking about specifically.
Yeah, well, I think people of color should, talk about their own issues with themselves. And like, nah, that's not what you, like, I think he's afraid. I think he's a little gun shy after 2016 when he got a couple protests from Black Lives Matter and stuff like that.
And they supported him this time, which was interesting.
All right.
Just saying. No, I mean they did a dual endorsement, cowardly I would argue, but they did a dual endorsement of him and Warren.
That's weak.
Yeah.
That's weak sauce.
No, the endorsement is to tell us who you prefer. Period. Not hey, several of these people. No, New York Times did the same thing. It was fucking stupid. But yeah, I think I think he misses the boat on black issues a lot. I think he's a democratic socialist, so his whole idea is class. And the problem is class is a good thing to talk about, but there are specific things that black people suffer from just because of the system that white people, even in the same financial class, just don't deal with. They just don't.
Yeah, if we all look the same, that'd be different. But poor white people.
Drive my car without being profiled. So
poor white people hate LeBron James just like rich white people hate LeBron James. Like, it don't,
Right. It don't matter.
It's because you're black, nigga.
Right. Stop flopping. Yeah. I mean, that's also a part of it. Like, dude, you're being ridiculous. But yeah, no, I mean, and his desire to keep avoiding it, like it's one thing to like pivot sometimes. Like, yo, he pivots hard away from black issues anytime they're brought up. It looks suspect. And I don't understand. Well, I have my theories as to why he does that and why he won't touch those issues, but clearly it's not working for him. And he's just getting fucking railroaded. I mean, he didn't make 15% of the vote in Mississippi, which is the largest black populated state. He didn't even get 15%. He got like 14.8%. He wasn't even viable. So, no, black people don't fuck with this nigga. Like, they just don't. Young black people do. Because young people are insane.
Sorry. I mean, look.
Every day as I get older, I realize why old people hate young people. I just do. I'm sorry. Y'all get on my goddamn nerves. I love y'all, but Jesus Christ, as a demographic, what the fuck are you doing?
They either can't vote or this is their first vote, and they desperately want to be a part of something because their lives, they don't know where to go yet.
Right.
So they desperately want to be a part of something. And, if you go to a halfway decent school that actually tells you about, revolution and in the 60s and shit, like people, I 100% understand why people want to be a part of this movement, right?
Of course.
Like, It makes you feel good. You can possibly change history. But at the same time, like it's the whole Bernie Sanders situation reminds me of the ending of The Graduate, and it's like, you rush in and you do this big swooping gesture, and you get married to this woman, and then you run off, and then you're sitting on the back of the bus, and then fucking life hits you, man. It's like, wait a minute, I'm married now. Oh shit, I still live with my mom. You know what I mean? Like, right. I don't know, man.
Well, my big thing with like young people is that, like millennials specifically. Now that's obviously a little bit older. Like y'all didn't vote. There's more of you than boomers, and you didn't vote for all the online. Oh, revolution! You ain't vote.
Yeah,
you can't vote on Twitter, nigga. Get up, go outside. Go to the voting booth. And I'm not talking about people who got their votes suppressed. I'm talking about people who just didn't vote. Just did. I ain't going today.
After the Super Tuesday, that's what I said. I'm like, look, my first vote was 2000. I've been voting for 20 years. I've never missed a vote, whether it be local or national. And I live in Baltimore. Granted, they make it pretty easy for us to do so. We're in a democratic state.
Yeah, it's mad easy.
Yeah, it's very simple. Like last time I voted, it took you said 7 minutes. I'm like, nigga, that's really fast.
No, literally, I'm never waiting that long, dude. I'm never
every time I go there. Like it usually takes me 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes 30, but I'm out of there I'm out of there within an hour at the very least, at the very most.
Hour.
Yo, I have never waited an hour.
No, I've never waited an hour, but within the hour that I get there and then I vote and I'm gone, like I've never waited in line for hours to vote. And again, like not everyone's vote is suppressed. So just because you're young doesn't mean like that's on you. You just didn't vote.
Yeah, and again, we're talking about the people who
them for that shit. Like, come on, yo.
Yeah.
If you can vote, you have no excuse. And again, they should make it easier. They should make it like some places with caucuses. You had to vote like Saturday afternoon or some bullshit.
Yeah,
like
caucuses
that.
are
like
not
2 hours to vote.
It's bullshit.
But yeah, like look, I've never not voted because there's no excuse.
Right. So
you could have done it.
Right.
You just didn't.
Right. If you live in
a lot of shit. Don't actually. All you have to do is vote. There's no revolution in that.
Use one of those.
There's no revolution in that. You just show up
and vote.
Use one of those mental health days that you have to take because people are picking on you on Facebook, and use that day to go fucking vote. Fuck out of here, yo.
I don't.
Not just millennials, by the way. I've seen like 35-year-old people talking about, I need a mental health day. Fuck off. Oh, it is? Damn, it is?
Technically, I'm a millennial.
God, you piece of shit.
It explains a lot, actually. Terrence's very, very me attitude. Yeah, that's when I think millennial, I think Terrence.
Right. Okay. But yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
I don't buy that. Like, if your vote is being suppressed or you're being pulled off voter rolls or something like that, that's a different conversation. And like, I'm not downplaying that because that definitely happens in red states. But no, especially if you're in a blue state, you have no excuse for not voting. You have no excuse. Oh, well, I had to work. I don't vote at 12 in the afternoon. I vote before I go to work or I vote after I come home. Like, it's not that hard. Like, just pick one. So it's, to me, young people just didn't like, it goes to that sort of fundamental thing of you're not hurting as bad as you pretend that you are. Because there's no way in the world, if my life was as bad as motherfuckers online pretend they are, that's why they got to vote for Bernie Sanders, that I'm missing a vote. I'm not missing a vote, yo. No, I'm going to be late. I got to vote for a revolution. I'll be in at 8:30. Sorry, boss. No. It's dying out there. Health insurance is so high. Our lives are ending. Did you vote? No, I ain't had time for all that. Nigga, what the fuck? It's a scantron, yo. Like, god damn. Like, so there's no excuse if that's what you really believe. Your life is not as bad as you pretend that it is. And I know, that one guy in our fucking Look Forward fan group was mad because I was like, health insurance is not the biggest issue for every person in this country. It just isn't. It's just not. It's not. Is it important? Yeah. Is it really important? Yes.
Super important. Like, people can't get tested for coronavirus.
Right. But it ain't that
$3,000.
Right. But at the same time, like, medical insurance didn't fucking choke Eric Garner out and kill him on camera. It didn't. Medical insurance prices didn't drive that car into Heather Hare in Charlottesville and kill her. It didn't. Medical insurance didn't lock kids up in cages and separate them from their parents. It didn't. Is it great if we had cheaper medical insurance so that people could live their lives better and, have access to medical care who don't? Yeah. Is it the top priority for everybody? No, it's not. And clearly it's not even a top priority for niggas complaining about it because y'all didn't even vote. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand how, look, our vote in Maryland is April 28th. This shit is going to be wrapped up way before that.
Yeah,
I must still vote. I'm still going to vote. And guess what? I decided I'm going to vote for the person who I was going to vote for anyway, originally. Because at this point, it doesn't fucking matter. So, like I said earlier, I'll be writing in Harambe, I guess. No, but I don't understand how you can talk so much shit about it being so fucking important and lives are in the balance and you couldn't take your fucking ass, knock the Dorito dust off your face and fill in a Scantron sheet. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. You can talk all the shit about OK Boomer you want. Those jokes are hilarious until you realize OK Boomer, they got off their ass and voted. Yeah, you ain't voting.
Boomers are still voting.
Yeah.
Those 75-year-old corona-ridden boomers are still going out there voting.
Corona-ridden boomers. Oh, fuck. That's true.
So you have no excuse. Them niggas are sick.
Yeah.
Still spreading their sickness to everybody, but they're still voting.
Like
clowns.
My respiratory system is shutting down. But y'all getting Joe Biden for president. Fuck this. Yeah. Give a fuck. That's all it is. Give a fuck. You want to talk a lot of shit? Then get out there and vote. That's all it is. And look, as you get older, you realize like young people they think votes don't count because people tell them that. Hey, by the way, people on the left, maybe you shouldn't have pushed that shit. It's all rigged, bro. Yeah. Well, then they go, well, it's all rigged. Then what do I give a fuck? Smart move. Great play. They think it's rigged. They think their vote is just like discarded. It doesn't count. And like, they think they're invincible. And when you get older, you realize I'm not invincible and I really need to kind of lock this shit down because I hurt my neck waking up this morning. Like, shit is serious. So when you get older, it's real, but not for them. So until you get people, dying in the streets, I guess, motherfuckers are just not going to get up. So stop depending on 18 to 29-year-olds for your revolution. That's stupid. Start a revolution with niggas in the AARP. They will vote for you. Other people will not. Any other parting words?
Get well soon, Tom Hanks. I don't know. They just postponed the NBA.
Yeah, because
the season.
A couple players have it.
Really?
Yeah.
Who has it?
Let me pull up my ESPN. Some center in Utah.
Okay.
Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus, which led to the Jazz Thunder being postponed. And then they were just like, you know what? Let's just nip this shit in the bud right now.
Wow.
The whole season has been suspended until further notice. So we gonna die.
We ain't going nowhere.
Oh yeah, no. Look, you see this setup? You're gonna look real familiar on YouTube for the next couple of months, man. Like, don't come here. Don't.
Now we black though. We good.
We're invincible. That part is true. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like mixed. The dude that just got it, he's I think he's black and French or some shit like.
Yeah, well,
See?
the French are known for giving up, so.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Oh, wow, white blood cells.
Wow.
You're a real asshole. It is kind. It's just. I think it's wild that it has not hit Central Africa yet. We're immune, yo.
Yeah, you would think. You would think.
Laugh the fucking coronavirus's face. Like, please, you got here.
Right.
It's
You
too
know what
hot.
kind of diseases we spreading around here? Come on, man. Nigga, we get disinfectant sprayed in our mouths by our pastors. You think
Yeah, you can't take them down. Yeah, Africans are drinking motor oil at church. Like, no, they'd be fine. Those stories fucking infuriate me. Yo, religion is so insane. Yeah, no, we're fine. So if you're black, yeah, get those cheap flights to Italy. You're gonna be all right. Don't do that. Seriously, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Wait till the CDC officially announces that we're invulnerable, or then you can do whatever you want. I'm leaving my biracial daughter and my biracial wife. I'm leaving them right here. I'm going on a trip. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna live my life. It just be SOL. Oh well. That's crazy, man. All right, that's it for us. We will see you guys next week. There's no video for next week's episode because we can't have video with the movie showing. But there will be audio. So we will, quote unquote, see you next week for episode 170, Property of State. Enjoy that. It was a fun episode. We had a good time with it. And then obviously we'll be back with a preview episode for 171 after that. All right, guys.
See you. Take it easy.
Bye. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.